Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Blocks of Finance. Today's a very exciting day because we get to look at the Orion Protocol staking calculator. It just got released about 20-30 minutes ago when I'm making this video. I've been playing with it since then to get an idea of what you could potentially earn, and Jesus H, it is spicy. So we're going to have a look. We're going to dive into it. We're going to explain how it works. We're going to run some different scenarios. You're definitely going to want to watch this all the way through because this is exciting. It's better than I expected. It's better than anyone expected. So let's get into it. If you like Orion Protocol, hit the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel. We're new, so it really helps push this out there. The Orion price is currently going up as this has been released, and I think it's going to continue to do that. So let's get more people on board. So share this video, like it, and all of that good stuff. So quick explanation of how this works, what the calculator is. So essentially, this is designed to show you exactly how much you could potentially earn as a non-broker staker on the Orion Protocol platform. Okay, so it's not for brokers. This is for, you know, the majority of people which are going to be staking. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Orion Protocol, look at the video on this channel I made a couple of days ago about exactly what it is. I'm not going to go over that now because I did a very in-depth video on that and why I think it's going to be one of, if not the biggest crypto projects this year, in my personal opinion. So a big thing about Orion Protocol is the staking. You know, people are talking about it as potentially being the most profitable staking program and the most sustainable staking program without crazy inflation, which is key in all of crypto. So the Orion Protocol staking calculator has just been released. It's from the team. So this is an official thing. It isn't, you know, people coming up with their own calculations. This is from the team. Okay, so this is based on what they think the performance is going to be. So basically, I am going to explain how this works. Now, first of all, we need to know where the staking rewards come from, how staking works with Orion. So basically, all of the transactions are processed by brokers as part of the decentralized brokerage. Okay. Now, in order to get the right to fulfill those orders on the Orion Protocol terminal, and the orders coming from their other B2B products, the brokers need to get a certain amount of votes, which they get by stakers like me and you and other holders, basically delegating their ORN stacks to a broker in return for you know, a percentage of the rewards that broker gets for doing the transactions. Okay, so we know the fee is going to be around you know, 0.1% for every trade made on the Orion Protocol platform. So you know, if I'm making $1,000 trade, you know, 0.1% of that, which is $10, is going to be charged as a fee, and that fee gets split up between Orion Protocol themselves, the broker who actually whose account was used to make the trade on, you know, wherever it was, Binance, Uniswap, SushiSwap, whatever. So a portion goes to them, and a portion goes to the stakers who have delegated their ORN to that broker. Okay, so these are the numbers we're going to look at here, that what you can earn as a staker potentially. Okay, so the APY and the rewards and things like that are going to depend on a few things, which are all in this calculator. One, it's going to be the daily trading volume going through the platform. Okay. Two, it's going to be the number of ORN tokens staked. Oh, there goes my trading view alerts. Let's just ignore that. And the next is going to be the number of ORN that you have staked, and then the current market price of ORN, which currently is about $9.40, despite the crazy dump that we've had on Bitcoin in the last few days. Okay, so And we're going to explain what these parameters are, and then we're going to run through some scenarios, okay? So the protocol daily volume, okay? So this is basically the amount of transactional volume that we think is going to be going through Orion Protocol daily, both in terms of the terminal, which is going to be, regular traders, and the B2B products, okay? And we know there's, multiple different of their products that are feeding into this. You can see here, the liquidity boost, the DEX kit, their enterprise products and things like that, and the Launchpad thing that they launched a couple of days ago, which I think is awesome. So all of that is going to contribute to the daily volume going through the terminal, all right? Next is going to be the total number of ORN staked, because the rewards that come from the trading fees are going to be distributed between all of the people who are staking, okay? So at the end of this year, I believe the amount of ORN tokens in circulation is going to be 36 million, okay? So that'll be the maximum that'll be able to be staked at the end of the year. If they're all staked, then the fees will get split up between 36 million tokens. If there's only 5 million, then each person is going to get a lot more. Obviously, the amount of your ORN stake decides how much of the overall pie that you get. And then the market price. The market price isn't going to determine how much gets paid out in terms of fees, because that just comes from revenue, but it's going to determine what the APY is and how much you're earning for each ORN that you have staked, okay? And something that I didn't actually know was coming out is different lockup periods. So basically, if you choose to lock up your staking rewards after they've been paid out to you, they get paid out daily. If you lock them up for a week, I think you get, I think it's like 10% extra bonus. And if you lock them up for a month after they're paid up, I think you get like an extra 25% or something like that. So again, just another bonus that we didn't expect to come from the ORN team. But I think you should always suspect surprises and bonuses from this team now, because they really do just keep delivering. So let's go into the calculator and run through some scenarios. Okay, so protocol daily volume, okay? We can calculate this based on what we think is going to be going just through the terminal, which is obviously the decentralized platform that plugs into all the exchanges, decentralized exchanges and things like that, or also included in their B2B products such as Liquidity Boost plugin, DEX kit, the Launchpad, and the handful of other things that they're going to be doing. Okay, so let's just start with some very conservative numbers for the daily volume. Let's just say that we think, to start off with, ORN is at some point over the next few weeks or months, like after the launch, is going to get to 100 million in daily volume. If you think that sounds like a lot, it's really not. The amount of exchanges that are doing 100 million in daily volume is just crazy. I mean, I haven't even heard of a lot of them. So if we look at, this is all of the centralized exchanges on CoinGecko, and I mean, the number 82 exchange is doing 150. It's called XMO, never heard of it. GMO, never heard of it. Alterdice, never heard of it. All of these like random exchanges that I didn't even know existed, they're all doing 100 million. Okay, so I think we can assume that this is a given, and that hopefully we'll get to that number pretty quickly. So this is definitely on the more conservative side, and this is just the terminal volume, not including the liquidity boost and all of that kind of thing. Okay, so 100 million going through the terminal. Now total ORN staked. Now at the end of the year, end of 2021, like I said, there's going to be about 36 million locked up. So that is the maximum 35. I would say that a lot of tokens are going to be locked up. Not all of them, but I would say it's going to be, somewhere around 2/3 sounds about right. I think, that might be a bit too conservative, but let's just go with, I'm just going to go with 22 million, which is about 2/3 of the total supply. Okay. I can't see too many more than that being locked up, but I might be wrong. We're erring on the side of caution for this first calculation. Okay. Now, the number of ORN staked obviously is going to be this is going to determine how much we get of the total pool. Okay, so let's just say we have 1,000 ORN staked, and if the market price didn't move from today, let's just round it up. Let's just say it hits $10, which I'm sure it'll do probably by the end of this video, by the time this comes out. Basically, if I stake 1,000 ORN, my APY, which is my the total amount that I would receive if I kept my rewards and then restaked them and compounded them over the course of the year, would be 23%, okay? So this is super lowballing, super conservative. Like, these numbers are laughable to me in terms of what I put in the calculator, but we're still getting 23% APY, okay? And you can see that if I receive my payout in ORN, I actually get a higher reward than if I receive it in USD. Don't know who would want to do that. I heard that USD is a massive scam. So we're just going to assume that we're going to take our payout in ORN, all right? So that gives us 23% APY as a super like lowball estimate, okay? If we were to do 5,000 ORN, okay, you see the APY doesn't change, but the amount that we would receive per year would change. Obviously, it goes up by 5x, and then, you know, if we were to do 12,000, we would earn 27 grand a year from that. Now, let's start looking at some different numbers and compare to, you know, some other exchanges and things like that. And then we'll have a look at, you know, different ORN prices and that kind of thing. So if we go and have a look at, let's have a look at some exchanges who are doing a decent amount of daily volume. So let's have a look at this. These are centralized exchanges so far. So you can see, this is all exchanges, sorry. You can see how many exchanges are doing 1 billion. Like it's kind of crazy. There's so many of them. Let's have a look at one. What will be a good one to compare? Let's do LA token, okay? No idea, never used it, probably would never sign up, but somehow they're doing 400 million in daily volume, okay? And this might be a completely legitimate exchange. I'm just kind of making jokes here. I'm sure it's fine. I just haven't used it. I have heard of it. So LA token, let's just say that, you know, after a while we managed to get on board with on par with them in terms of daily volume. So we've got 432 million, okay? So let's put that in here. Okay, 432 million daily volume from all of the you know, the terminal trades. Okay, remember, we're not doing the B2B products yet. And let's go back to 1,000 ORN and leave the ORN market price at the current price, which is roughly $10. Again, we'll play with the price in a minute. So you can see that now we've put our volume on par with a, you know, completely mediocre exchange, absolutely nothing to write home about. I'm sure less than 1% of the people watching this video have ever used LA token. If we manage to get as much daily volume as then, our APY is now 144%, which is, I mean, that is absolutely bananas. Like, it's just there's not really anything else like this in crypto that is not using just ridiculously inflationary tokenomics, okay? And we know that Orion is actually deflationary, and I won't go into how they're managing to do that, but, you know, we're not going to be exploding the circulating supply of the token in terms of just printing them over and over to get this, okay? So we're assuming that still, you know, roughly there's 22 million ORN staked. We have 432 million in daily volume. We're going to stake 1,000 ORN. And, you know, our stake value is $10,000. If we kept it for a year, we'd receive an additional $14,469, assuming that we locked our tokens up for 1 month after they were delivered to us as staking rewards and let them compound for the 12-month period. So that is pretty badass if you ask me. Let's say we had 5,000 ORN. I mean, our stake value is 50K. We get 72K a year just for sitting around twiddling our thumbs. That's pretty good if you ask me. Some more of the whales out there. I mean, these guys. I mean, it's game over for these guys. I mean, they're done. If this holds true, this is $289,000 a year in passive income. That is the dream. So again, pretty mediocre. Okay, average, very average exchange. No reason to think that we cannot achieve this. Let's have before we start looking at some other higher projections and things like that, and the market price. And seeing how that affects things, and explaining the relationship between APY, market price, and the staking rewards and things like that. Let's have a look at some of the B2B products. So you can see here that we can add in Orion's estimate for the additional daily volume that each of these products are going to provide, okay? So the liquidity boost plugin, okay, if you don't know what that is, go to the site and have a look. But it essentially allows other exchanges to plug into the ORN terminal and use their liquidity on their own platforms on basically a white label basis. So if we were to add that, adds an extra 10 million volume per day, okay? The DEX kit, they're obviously super bullish on this because they think that this could potentially bring in an extra 200 million volume per day. Like, I don't know where that number is coming from, but this is from the team, all right? This is what they think. And then we have things like, you know, the Launchpad and a couple of the other products. If you add in all these B2B products, they are basically on their own delivering almost as much as the terminal itself, okay? So, and some of these are going to be live before staking is even up and running, okay? So these are being integrated right now. So we're going to have volume from these from the get-go, which is really huge, okay? So if all the B2B products are kicking in, we're running on roughly LA tokens exchange volume. We're seeing over 300% APY, again, assuming that the price of ORN stays the same, okay? So let's now have a look at how the ORN token price, before we go into some of the higher numbers and look at Uniswap and Binance and all of those exchanges, let's have a look at the relationship between the token price and the APY and the rewards, and really explain how that works. So let's just put this back to a round number. Let's go 500 million. It's pretty close to what we were just looking at. Okay, so 500 million, the APY will be about 181% without any of the B2B offerings, okay? Keeping everything similar. That is assuming a ORN token price of $10. Let's see what it is right now. Oh yeah, this is just ridiculous. People are really catching on to this. This train is leaving the station. This train is leaving the station. Okay, so ORN price $10 gives us an APY of 181%, okay? Now, there's two questions that are going to come up here. People are going to say, I mean, it's not even a question. People are going to say, that's not sustainable. They're not even going to say, is it sustainable? They're going to say, that's not sustainable. And the answer to, is it sustainable, is actually both yes and no. And I'll explain that. It is sustainable in terms of the amount that's going to be paid out and the amount that you're going to receive daily, because the revenue that pays out these staking rewards comes from actual company revenue, comes from the trading fees on the platform, okay? So Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, ORN price goes up, ORN price goes down, doesn't matter. The trading fees are, it's a dollar amount, okay? So if more people are using the platform, the trading fees are gonna be more. That's it. There's, you know, that's the long and short of it. There's no other factors. So the revenue is coming from, it's not coming from within the ORN ecosystem by them minting tokens. It's coming from outside of the ORN ecosystem by new people coming in and trading and paying fees, okay? So that is why it is sustainable in terms of the amount that's going to pay out. So you can, you know, you don't have to worry about this going down in 6 months or a year or whatever. It's only going to go up if anything. Now, why I say it's also not sustainable is because there is such a mismatch between the token price and the APY that, in my opinion, the laws of supply and demand and things like that, when people start seeing this in practice, knowing that it is not inflationary, that is going to push the price up, because who isn't going to buy a token that pays them almost 200% a year just for holding it, knowing that the token value is also deflationary, the token metrics are also deflationary. Like as soon as people start catching on to that, then we're saying, all right, I want some of that. And this is where the APY goes down. So we will not see APYs, in my opinion, after this platform is established. We won't see APYs that are 2, 3, 4, 500%, okay? And that's not a bad thing, because what we will see is the token price skyrocketing to basically, what's the damn word? Compensate for that, okay? So if the token price goes up, we started at 10, okay? APY was about 180% and plus change. If the token price doubles, then this is what happens, okay? So the APY is now 67%, all right? If you notice, sorry, I'm just resetting that to how it was. The APY is 67%, okay? So, but your staked value has doubled. So the amount of your ORN that you hold, instead of 10,000, the price has doubled, so it is 20,000, okay? And you're now earning 67.8% APY per year. Again, also very high. So, you know, these incredible staking rewards, you know, could just, you know, drive the price up and up and up. All right, so if the price was up to 30, the APY goes down to 41% in this situation, okay, with this volume and things like that. Now, if the volume was to then increase to, let's say, 750,000, APY's gone up again, okay? So now, well, let's just say it went to, 750,000. The APY's gone up to 68% again. People again, okay, this is crazy. Deflationary tokenomics, 68% APY. I want some of that, so people buy more. The price goes up. We're now at 50, okay? We're now back at 36% APY, but you're still receiving a huge amount in actual revenue. It's just the percentage of your actual stake value that you get daily is going down, because your stake value is going up in terms of the price of your 1,000 coins, okay? So, and then if the ORN price gets to 100, I don't like to make price predictions, but I mean, if you ask me if I think it's going to 100, I mean, I do think it's going to 100. And the rest at some point. So let's just say that the ORN price goes to 100, then, you know, the APY will go down to 16%, and you know, that is what you would get on this daily volume. So let's go back and look at some other scenarios with today's volume. So let's have a look at some of the decentralized exchanges and aggregators. Okay, so 1inch. A lot of people mention 1inch is similar in terms of, you know, they're doing some of what 1inch of ORN is doing. Obviously not as much. You know, 575 is pretty close to what we looked at in terms of LA token just now. So let's have a look at Sushi Swap and Pancake Swap. So they're currently doing between 1.3 and 1.5 billion dollars per day in volume. So let's call it 1.3, and we will have a look at what that looks like. Oh man. Cool. So $1.3 billion in daily volume, same total amount of ORN staked, okay? Your ORN staked is 1,000. If the market price was to stay the same as it is today, I mean, you know, it's impossible for it to stay the same as it is today, because the APY would seem so high that, you know, that it would absolutely drive the price up, all right? So, you know, if by this point the ORN token is at $50, you know, your ORN stack has now gone up 5x from 10,000 to 50,000, and you're also getting 71% in passive income per year, okay, which is obviously just really fantastic. 5,000, talking more serious money now. So 250 grand staked. In terms of your stake value, APY 70%, almost 180,000 per year in that you'll be making passively. Okay, and if you go over to if you had like 30,000 ORN, and there's quite a few people that have had this, you have 1.5 mil staked, you're $1 million in annual passive income with an ORN token price of only 50. Okay, so as you can see, this is really crazy if they manage to fulfill on this, and I haven't been given any reason to believe that they will not. Let's have a look at some of the more the bigger centralized exchanges. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation that we could really be pulling a lot of the volume from these exchanges because everybody knows why you would use Orion versus one of these, so I'm not going to waste any time explaining that. Kraken goes up and down. Let's just call it Kraken. Let's just call it 5 bill. So $5 billion. This is Kraken daily volume. Then you can just see. Stake value. 1.5 mil at a token price. The APY would be almost 700%. Like this. It's impossible for the price to stay this low. Okay, so if we're getting into daily volumes of in the billions, this calculator is going to need to be changed, because I think that would just drive the token price higher and higher and higher, because people want the token so they can get these rewards. Like they're not going to stop buying at 100 when you get 180% APY. All right, so this calculator, once we get to those levels, they're going to change this calculator, like I'm convinced, because the price is going to go higher than this, assuming that we get these volumes, okay? Because the APY is not going to stay that high. The price is going to increase to bring it down, because there will just be too many people wanting to buy it. So let's just do one more moonshot. What's Binance done today? 51 billion. I don't know. Is this real? Who knows? Christ, 51 billion. I'm just going to take their word for it. Let's just say it's true. Why not? 50, well, yes. You can, it doesn't even go that high. It looks like the highest it goes is 10 billion or something like that. So, really get to kind of moon numbers when we get this high. If we did get to 10 billion, which Binance was at a few months ago, and you had even just 1,000 ORN staked, not just 1,000 ORN, but even if if 1,000 ORN, which is the lowest on the calculator, you'd have 100 grand at a $100 token price, and you would have, this is just silly, 690% APY. So again, no one's going to let the APY stay that high. Price is going to go up, assuming we get these kind of numbers. All right. So that is how it works. APY, relationship between the token price, the daily volume, and the key things to know, really the key things to take away is that, one, this is sustainable because the revenue comes from trading fees, okay? We're not just blowing up the token printing, okay, in order to pay for this. So that is the key thing to keep in mind for me. Play with these with the B2B products with and without. One thing I did actually want to cover is the latest B2B product, which is going to be the Launchpad. So I'm not sure, a lot of people I'm not sure are too familiar with what this is and how it works. So let me just kind of really briefly explain this. So if you're used to IDOs where projects are launching their tokens on things like Polkastarter, DuckDAO, Pulse, DAO Maker is another one that's just joined this. Basically what happens is they do a pre-sale on this platform. The investor, you may get in, you may not. The investors then given their tokens, And then, later that day, usually the token launches on Uniswap. And then after that, all the token like trading and swapping and buying and selling is done on Uniswap. Okay. Now there's a few problems with that. One, at that point, the platform, the launchpad, such as pools or whatever, they're not getting any revenue from those swaps anymore because it's all going to Uniswap. Like their job is done. They've just all done this work. They've launched this product. It's hopefully doing well, but they can't earn anything from it. So, and then you also have the issue of fake listings on Uniswap because anybody can just throw up anything on there. So people end up getting scammed. They end up trying to go into the wrong pool and stuff like that. And it's kind of a very clunky process. So what Orion have basically done is they've built their own white labeled swap tool, which is all going to go into the terminal volume. And I just want to explain how it works because it looks like it's got some really big traction. Three of the major players in the launchpad space, DuckDAO, DAO Maker, and Pools, in the last, I think they almost released 3 in a row or something, or over the last few days, they've just out of nowhere said, oh, by the way, 3 of the biggest launchpads have just signed up to this product that you didn't even know we had. Just FYI, which I thought was pretty cool. So basically what the program allows them to do is, let's say Pools, for example, they do the token launch, they do the early access, the whitelist, all that kind of thing. People buy their tokens if they got into the early access. Then when they're given their tokens, they don't need to then go to Uniswap to either buy more, sell them, provide liquidity or whatever. Instead, what they do is they go over to a swapping pool, which is native to the platform that did the original launch. Okay, so pools, DuckDAO or DAO Maker. So DuckDAO's is called DuckSwap. Okay, so they do the token launch, the tokens get released, and then they are then put into the market in DuckSwap, and people can buy them, sell them, swap them, all that kind of thing. DuckSwap gets revenue because it's their swapping tool. It's not Uniswap. Okay. The customer has a better experience because they don't need to leave the Duck ecosystem and go to Uniswap. They're also not going to get scammed by fake listings because the swap tool is controlled by DuckDAO, and they're only going to put the official one on there. And the fees, I think, are going to be a bit lower than Uniswap. Okay, and because these white label swap tools plug into the Orion decentralized brokerage, all of the liquidity that the brokerage has access to, which is the entire damn market, is then instantly available on this white label swap tool that these teams are now building through Orion. And that's a huge that's a huge problem solver. It solves a couple of really big problems. So these tools are really going to win here. They're going to have better security, better customer experience, and more revenue. And all of these swaps and things like that are going to add volume to here on this. So this part here, the OLL, is including the liquidity from those swap products. So everyone's a winner. We get more staking rewards. The DAO platforms give a better customer experience. 17 revenue streams now for Orion instead of 16. So I hope that has explained the Orion calculator and how it works. Any questions, put them in a comment below. I'll do my best to answer. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. We're pretty new. I'm super excited about the Orion Protocol staking rewards. Calculator is awesome. And that is it for now. So let's just quickly check the Orion price before we go. And yes, oh, look at that. What a way to end the video. $10 on the nose. Couldn't have timed it better myself. All right, thanks. I'll see you next time.